What so-called overreaction to something you did that you feel was entirely justified?
I dumped my boyfriend and left our vacation early after he locked me out from our hotel room while I was only in a towel. My now ex-boyfriend was a practical joker. Mostly relatively harmless but annoying stuff like switching my sugar-free soda to a regular one or hiding my keys and laughing when I was about to cry and call an Uber for work. I never laughed at his shenanigans, but he thought I was just being uptight. I was gaslit into thinking I couldn't take a joke. So I learned to tolerate it. Outside his jokester persona was a sweet and caring man. He bought me small but thoughtful gifts, like a takeout meal when I needed snacks or trinkets for my miniature house collection. So I thought that if his being an annoying prankster was the worst of my problem, then I was so lucky. When we had the opportunity to spend our first year together in an Southeast Asian destination, we hopped into a plane immediately. We both had steady and hectic jobs, so when our schedules aligned for a few days of break, we just had to take it. The first day at a mid-range resort went well. It was fully booked, but we managed to snag a room a few meters in front of the pool. The beach was also a short walking distance away. On the second day, we were about to go out for lunch. I took a shower first, then came out with the clothes I prepared missing. Even my underwear was not on the bed where I left it. I was only in a short towel that barely covered my ass because that was the only towel left. The big ones were also missing. My boyfriend was nowhere to be found too. I then heard a knock, followed by him asking me to open the door because he had forgotten the key. Naturally, I opened it for him. The moment I opened the door, just slightly halfway because as I said, I wasn't clothed, he grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the door. He then rushed inside the room and locked the door with me still shocked from being pulled outside. I heard laughter before I even gathered my wits together. From the other side of the door, he asked me if I wanted to get in, which of course I did. I was standing in nothing but a short towel and I'm pretty sure I was mooning the people a few meters away in the pool. There were even kids there. I was so embarrassed that I started pleading with him to open the door. He said, in a loud enough voice for people around me to hear, that I could either stay there or give him a BJ inside. I kept asking him to open the door, vacillating between demanding and begging, but while his voice was a laughing tone to it, I knew he was completely serious. I don't know how long I was standing outside, maybe it was just a couple of minutes or so, but it was long enough for a kind lady to hand me a hotel robe. I cried my thanks to her and put it on before walking to the concierge and asking them to open my room for me. I guess my boyfriend wondered why I suddenly went quiet because by the time I got back with an attendant, the door was opened and he was standing outside. I made sure my foot is inside first before thanking the attendant for coming with me and apologizing for the trouble. She was understanding and I even caught her covertly rolling her eyes when my boyfriend told me that he was just joking and I was just being a spoilsport. It was a shouting match as soon as we were alone. He kept claiming it was a joke and I should have been used to him by now, that I was just being my uptight self again, that I shouldn't be changing him by asking him to tone down. He wouldn't listen when I told him I was mortified to be nearly naked with strangers, including children, seeing me. He just called me prudent. It ended with him angrily storming out and telling me he was going to eat out alone and that I should fix my attitude and get ready to apologize to him later. I packed my bags and asked for a cab to the airport. The hotel was already paid so I didn't have to check out. I fortunately got on a standby flight. I turned off my phone and wouldn't even turn it on until I was home the next day. I didn't have to unpack my bags because I had to pack even more bags. The apartment was in his name and every furniture there was his. I paid my share of rent and some more bills, but I wasn't tied to the lease. Ignoring the dozens of angry messages he left for me, I called my best friend and asked if I could stay there for just a few days. She owned a house with her husband, and both said yes. I got there with my bags and a story to tell. They were upset on my behalf, promising me they wouldn't tell him I was staying there. When I was settled, I sent him a message telling him it was over. I guess he also cut the vacation short because I heard he was back stateside earlier than scheduled. He blasted me on social media, creating a sad story of how I left him alone without a word in a foreign country, all because I got tired of being with someone who loved life. The comments left by his family and friends there were horrendous. They all thought I overreacted but didn't know what I've overreacted to was in the first place because he didn't mention it in his post. I blocked them all. It was my best friend who posted what really happened and tagged him. I didn't know what happened and I didn't care. I found a new apartment and moved there after several days of staying with my best friend. I have no idea how my ex-boyfriend is doing now, and frankly, I don't care. Whatever love I had for him completely vanished the moment he pulled me and locked me out of the room.
If you liked the story, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video and subscribe for more. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. Thank you very much.